Welcome to the Sweet Buddies podcast. Life is better in the sweet. And now here are your hosts, Mike Albanese, Alex Pavone, and Chris Scopo.
Everyone got their phones off?
Hello.
That's a defeated hello. That's a very weary hello. I second it.
I can't do these hellos anymore. I love you guys, but this is taking a lot out of me. This trip.
It's taking a lot out of all of us, pal.
I'm having a great time.
Well,
yeah, because he's on the phone with his girlfriend half the time.
When I say it's taking a lot out of me, I'm saying it's taking a lot out of me.
You think I'm on the phone with my girlfriend more than Scopo's on Instagram?
100% not true. But for the moment, this is on you, pal.
No, well, to be fair, the second time you tried to adjust it, and it was your mitt, your big ass bear claw.
We got lost in D.C. because Pavone's phone wasn't operating properly, and then as the map was going.
I keep a track record in my head of the shot Scopo's taken this trip.
Let me explain it. Let me explain it to the buddies out there. We had, and then Pavone. I'm just saying facts. These are not my opinions. The phone was up. We're traveling. It's dark, D.C. The roads suck. There's so many roads and turns that don't make sense, and we've been getting lost, even with GPS. Maps up, we're trying to get the hell out of D.C. And Pavone, you grab the phone from the mount in the middle of a bunch of things are happening. We don't know where we are.
Arlington.
Sure. To answer a text message, and I don't know where I'm at. And then I'm like, put it back. I don't know where I'm at. You're like, Arlington. And I'm like, put it back. The text can wait. And then you start scrolling through Twitter, and I almost fucking lose it. And then when you try to put it back, you're mashing buttons, the phone freezes, and then it pulls out again to try to fix it, and then trying to shove it back in. My mitts fucked it up, and then we took a wrong turn.
That's all I said.
And you're right.
I said I fucked up the first time.
But if you hadn't have fucked up, if you didn't rip it off to fucking answer a text, my mitts would not have broken it the second time.
I will say I did start the conversation by saying, my phone is really bad and it sucks.
Yeah.
And it did prove to be the case.
It would have been fine if it was just left in its place.
Just saying my phone was bad.
We put a cone of silence on Pavone for about 5 minutes because it was a lot of heat in the car. And now we're on our way. We're on our way to Richmond from D.C.
Cold as
This
ice.
has been a great trip. We did since we've done a podcast. We did Wilmington, North Carolina, and let me tell you, those so far are the shows of the trip, pal. I had a great time in Lawrenceville, but you got beat by Wilmington. It was a blast. The shows were killer. The staff is amazing. We love it. Big shout out to Timmy. Big shout out to the manager over there, Amy. She's a fucking angel. And you really helped us out. You're good people. And if you're in Wilmington, go to Dead Crow, support that club. A lot of buddies came out. We had a lot of podcast listeners. Is this silence thing going to be a thing?
I'm going to silence it for a bit.
You're going to shut up?
I'm going to just silence it.
Why?
I feel that it's my time to silence it.
Anyway, we're having a good time. We're spending a lot of time in really close quarters. I don't know if you can tell out there in Buddy Land, but it's getting hot. Oh, man, last night we stayed at, it's your cousin, right, Scopo?
My cousin Scott and Lisa.
Just outside of D.C. Good family. Great family. Love shit talking.
Thank you to them.
You might just want to
listen to it, but
focus your yelling area.
Well, Scott just texted me, that's what.
Oh.
So thank you to them. I appreciate us staying there. It was very much appreciated. We had a blast.
Wonderful home. And then they got a 10-year-old boy named Andrew. Kid's hilarious. Loves to fart. And so he's my kind of guy. And then we had a Nerf war last night in the basement at like 10 o'clock at night. This kid's an hour past his bedtime. We're keeping him up. We're running around, rolling around all over the carpet, doing Nerf wars. It was me and Andrew versus Scopo and Pavone. And let me say this about the two of you. Very specific about the rules up front. No headshots. A lot of yelling, no headshots. You're looking at me like I'm the fucking guy who's going to hit you in the head with a Nerf. And I stuck to those rules. these two fucking morons.
I almost took Mike's eye out.
3 times I got hit in the eyeball. Not like the socket or like the eyebrow. The ball of my I still have black spots in the bottom of my eye. When I look too quickly to the left, I got black dots because I got pegged. I honestly thought I was going to lose vision. It took me to a nerf took me to my knees. But it was a great time. I haven't fucking had that much fun acting like a child in a long time.
Kid's got every Nerf gun there is, honestly.
He really does. It was a good time. And then we just did a show in D.C. We were supposed to be in Richmond tonight, but that show got canceled, unfortunately, so we got rebooked in what we thought was Richmond. But thank God we put the address right before we left the house and found out that the show was actually in D.C., so we had to we had to hightail it back. And I'm not going to say who did this booking, because that person is deciding not to talk right now, and I feel like he's taking a lot of heat, and I think he's angry.
No, I'm having a good time. I'm just listening to the magic unfold. Taking it all in.
So now we got to drive 2 hours after the show. We're going to get in Richmond around midnight. And tonight's Thursday. Today's Thursday in the podcast coming out. We're at the Funny Bone in Richmond, Virginia tonight. The Sweet Buds headline the Funny Bone, baby. It's going to be a blast. I've heard they sold a bunch of tickets already. A lot of buds coming out. And we can't wait to get to you. We're stopping in Richmond halfway, though. I'm going to try to buy a ton of cigarettes before we leave. Try to sell them back in the streets of New York.
I wouldn't say that out loud.
That's never been gone bad for anybody. That was my plan when I was moving to New York. I was thinking, like, on the way, I'm gonna buy a couple cases of cigarettes and try to sell them to my friends. And it was right around that Eric Gardner time, and I was like, man, what a disaster. That was really fucked up.
Lucy's, you'd have been good.
I mean, that whole situation is so fucking stupid. But I was like, oh boy, can't do that. What a crazy thing. But yeah. We're having a good time. It's almost midnight. It's 11 o'clock and we're driving. So it's a little worn and toasty in this car. You stop smirking and giggling over there. If you got nothing to say, stop. I'm having a good time. Do I want to kill both of you at individual times and at the same time? Absolutely.
You could be honest.
I just did. I am having a good time, but I also want to murder you.
Okay. It's conflicting.
Can't wait when we get back to New York. As soon as we unload, I'm going to be like, what are you guys doing tonight? You guys want to go out?
That's not happening.
Not a chance.
No.
I can't wait to go to Mexico and just fucking drink tequila till I black out every night. Which is going to be like 2 shots because your buddy hasn't been drinking. You can't shut down, dude. You can't, while we're doing this, you can't stop talking. You done?
Me?
Oh, you haven't said a word.
I've said some stuff.
All right. This is a great time to talk about how we're changing up the podcast. We're gonna start doing.
Hopefully it's over.
Yeah, we're gonna change it up by ending it.
Fingers crossed.
We're gonna start doing some segments every week. It's gonna be the same segments with all new stuff. We're just gonna add some consistency and regularity to the show. Because we want to have more fun, and we want you to want to listen in a little bit more. So we're gonna do some interactive shit. We're gonna do some stuff where we have segments. You wanna tell us about the segments, Scopo?
Oh, we got segments, baby. Plenty of segments.
We each came up with one. Why don't you tell us about yours, Scopo?
Mine's gonna be the weirdo of the week. Basically, someone who's a fucking psycho, and I can be on his mental level because I like weirdos. Let me tell you.
Like a weird news type of thing.
I got a guy, this fucking weirdo, in Toronto, of course, because they produce fucking douchebags, that he jumps into a shark tank naked with his little noodle just swimming around there. Just as bait. He's chumming. His dick was just chumming. And they haven't caught him, I'll be honest with you. This guy, I don't know how he jumps out of the tank without being caught. Guy, my hero.
When did this happen?
This happened like 2 days ago.
Where were the sharks? Lake Ontario?
They just said the Toronto Museum.
Toronto Museum. the ROM. No sharks there.
All he did was he just broke into a Mark Cuban meeting.
I think. Are you talking about Ripley's Aquarium? The only place where we have sharks in the city?
There's a Ripley's Aquarium?
That's where the sharks are.
I thought Ripley's was like a museum of like weird shit. Ripley's, believe it or not,
Believe it or not,
they got sharks.
I believe there's a guy who's
Nobody thought it was really happening. They
not
thought it was
sure how a guy gets free from that. That's my question on the story. How do you swim with
How
sharks?
do you swim naked with sharks?
And get away with it?
I think he wanted to die. As soon as he hit the water, that cold fucking shark water, and he ran. That's a death wish. The guy was trying to die.
Well,
I'm calling it.
If you don't, I mean, those sharks are fucking like, those are like, the sharks in museums or museums in aquariums. They're all like messed up. They don't attack.
I don't know,
they
man.
Get fed. They get fed on every like few hours, so they're not really that hungry.
They're still sharks, though.
Yeah, but they're not gonna like attack like a shark in the ocean's gonna attack. Do you ever see them when they swim around? They look like they're on fucking Ambien the whole time. Their eyes are just buzzed out
I
of
bet
their
you they do
faces.
that. I bet they
Have
put
you
little
seen
Ambien in the
a
water.
real shark in a real ocean?
Yeah, in a real aquarium. Yes, I've seen a shark.
No, a
in
real
aquarium.
shark in a real ocean. To
I don't-
compare the differences.
I can see videos when they have them. Yeah.
I'm not sure that.
I've never seen a shark in the ocean, and I never want to.
I want to know how the guy escaped.
I want to know how we escaped from the ocean. Me and Pav the other day in Wilmington, we went to the beach. It was like just hot, just warm enough to like take our shirts off and jump in the water. There was a bunch of surfers out there. Had a great time. Did you have fun, Pav?
I had a great time.
We're swimming around the waves for like an hour, riding waves, getting crazy. My pants kept coming off because I had a shitty pair of shorts. We get back to the club that night, and we're telling people about how much fun we had. And they're like, oh, you're not supposed to go in the water because all the hurricanes, all the pig farmers, they got flooded out, and all the pig shit is contaminating the water. People are dying by going in the water. They get infected. Pav was paranoid for 3 days.
And my eyes were itchy when they started telling me. And they said nuclear waste and coal.
Yeah, coal ash. Couple of idiots. The beach was open though, so I feel like okay. And we're still alive.
My lip was swollen though the next day.
You did have a swollen lip.
Yeah,
Did you
I
ever
did.
find out what it was?
It went down.
What was it?
I don't know. I didn't really figure it out. I thought it was the water. I've never had a swollen lip like that without banging it or something. It just got swollen.
I'm gonna call though. That guy was trying to. When they find him, he was gonna say he's trying to commit suicide, and then it was the water was so cold
No
or something.
way.
Yeah.
I have no idea how you don't find the guy. I don't. I've been in that aquarium. There's no way you could escape. It's impossible.
Did you hear about the octopus that escaped an aquarium once?
Didn't it go through a pipe?
Yeah, it watched. It was clocking for like weeks. They went back at tape and looked at this octopus clocking employees and learning where like they go and exit. And then he fucking charted a path several times, looking for an exit, and then found a pipe, like a water pipe. And he shimmied out of the fucking tank, up a water pipe, and then out into the out of the aquarium, and then into the ocean. He got away with it.
Octopus are very smart. Octopi.
Octopus.
Octopi.
How many octopuses is it too?
So you're telling me the
Octopi.
octopus vanished like a fart in the wind?
Yeah, he took off. They say octopus can get their body can
They're
get
smart,
it's so
man.
small. They can get however big their beak is. That's the size of a thing they can get through. Their whole body can shimmy through it. As long as their beak can get through it, the rest of it
He's
can.
the Andy Dufresne of aquarium scapes.
Do you know Paul the Octopus?
What's Andy Dufresne?
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah,
You know Paul the Octopus?
I don't know Paul the
The
octopus.
guy who predicted almost every game right in the 2006 World Cup.
How does an octopus?
He would
How does
There were
a
two flags.
a bipod? What
There
are
were
those
two
things called?
flags, and the octopus would swim to which one he thought would win. And he only missed one game. He was fucking snapping. Bookies were gonna fucking lose it.
Were people actually betting on what he said?
I don't know if people were betting on it, but Paul the Octopus was fucking
He
killing
made a
it.
killing. I heard he made like 27K that summer.
The octopus?
They tried
The octopus smokes nothing but Cuban cigars now.
the mob threatened to make him calamari.
Well, I don't want to poke holes in the mob, but calamari is squid, so I say that mob are dumb.
They're not the brightest,
No.
but yeah.
Love calamari though. So what do you think? You think this guy's gonna get away with it? They're gonna catch him, Scope?
I think they'll eventually catch him, or they just be like, I mean, fuck it. I mean, personally, I would rather him get away with it. I like when villains get away with shit. That makes my heart happy.
But what are they gonna press charges with?
Decent exposure, they said.
And trespassing, maybe. We gotta find it.
I guess the Shark's gonna press charges for that trespassing one.
The Shark was embarrassed. Like he made me look at his penis without asking. The Louis C.K. of sharks. Just fucking burn this shark. Let's make fucking tacos out of him. I think that I think what this guy should do is find out what the statute of limitations are on those charges, and this is the day after. There's no more. He can't be charged. He comes out and he goes, "I'm the shark cock."
Well, he got away with it.
Man wanted for assault.
Another weird one. Is this the
Swimming
same
naked?
one?
No, this is the guy. Swimming naked in Toronto Aquarium.
What a great news.
Wanted for assault?
Yeah.
What's the assault?
What's the assault?
Assault on the senses?
Accused of
Assault
jumping
water?
into a shark tank in Toronto.
I'll give you that one.
Thanks, man.
A saltwater tank.
37 years old. Oh, no. He was arrested by the Ontario Provincial Police.
This whole time we're wondering. It's the
Provincial.
second sentence in the article.
Ontario Provincial Police, not provisional.
The spokesperson said
Hey, they might be
Completely wrong
cops one
word.
day.
Wrong word.
traveling.
Of course he got arrested. How the hell was he going to get out of an aquarium and escape that? There's no way you could escape that.
I don't know. This guy, honestly, though, I mean, what are they really gonna? I mean, what are they gonna hold him with? Just a decent exposure.
So if you could put a towel around him when they brought him to the cop car, I don't want your asshole on the back of my seats.
Why did he do it?
I don't know why the Toronto cops had a New York accent in my impression. Where the shucky in this fucking guy?
Why did he do it?
Didn't say why he did it.
They gotta talk to this guy. What's his name? Let's look him up.
Didn't say. It says 37-year-old British Columbia.
Where's BC? That's on the other side.
West
of town.
Coast.
What was he doing in Toronto? Just there to fucking
There's actual sharks.
shove a cock up his nostril?
There's actual sharks in BC. I don't understand why I had to fucking cross a country to do this.
He got so excited. You know why? Because he thought he could get away with anything since pot became legal.
That was maybe a week, two weeks earlier, a week early.
Today's the 18th. When did it go into law? Yesterday?
Yep, 17th.
17th. How'd people take it?
I think people are excited. People are very high.
You don't want people to know that you're a brilliant investor?
I don't have any weed stocks at all, but
I'd love weed stock.
You should buy them.
It's funny that
Invest.
I want weed stock now, but when I was a teenager, I wanted nothing. I wanted no stems or seeds. I don't want weed stems.
Okay.
I want weed stocks. It's late. What do you want from me?
My grandmother's birthday, the day of the legalization. and
Say
she-
happy birthday.
I did, and I told her weed was legal in Canada, and she said she used hemp rope to tie up cattle in Italy. That was her weed story.
Weed should be legal everywhere, just for the fact that hemp is such a utility.
I didn't even know hemp rope was a thing until she said that.
Yeah, that's a lot. You can't produce hemp in America or some shit, or you used to not be able to, because you have to grow the marijuana plant to get hemp. Even if it's inert. Even
if you
it's
smoke
not,
hemp, can you get high?
No.
You can, right?
No.
What is hemp? It's weed
It's
without THC.
No, it's the big stalks. It's the fibers on the stalks of the marijuana plant. But you can use a male plant. It's not even the bud producing plant. But the fact that it's marijuana means it's evil, bad.
Really? So okay. So the hemp is just like.
I believe it's the big thick stalk of the made plant,
So it'd be like the
and it's super
trunk of a tree.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And they turn it into rope, and it's got a lot of medicinal properties. The whole plant, the marijuana plant,
I did not
is
know.
very versatile.
Yeah, I did not know hemp rope. I did not know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. I used to wear a lot of hemp when I was a kid, like high school. I thought I was going to be a hippie forever. I had a giant afro. I had fucking hemp necklaces and bracelets and anklets. I had an anklet, bro.
Did you do hacky sack?
I was never good at hickey. I tried, but I wore
You
the
were a
tie-dye
hippie?
shirts. I wore hemp necklaces.
You're a hippie?
I wore. Oh yeah. I wore. I used to go to concerts all the time and like walk around like a fucking cool kid.
Did you have a dread?
I tried to dread my hair before, and it never worked. It never took. But I used to have giant hair, big afro, big stupid white.
Well, how old were you?
Burnout. I was in high school. I'd wear a bandana like out of my pocket and like around my wrist.
How was your dad with
Such
that?
an idiot. I feel Sal wasn't. He didn't get too like weirded about the shit that I did. He got mad when I dyed my hair blonde once though. It was cool in my neighborhood in my school to dye the top of your hair blonde. Did that ever?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And he thought
Bleached it? Sun in.
Yeah. Well, I sun-inned it and then I dyed it. And I remember coming home, him coming home when my hair was blonde, and he was. I think my mom was like, "Go talk to your son," and I was locked in my room. And he goes knocking on. He's like, "What's going on in there?" And I was like, "Nothing." He's like, "Open the goddamn fucking door." And I opened the door and just standing there with blonde hair.
You got pictures?
Probably. But he's just looking at me. He gives me a look, doesn't say a word, fucking slams the door and goes to his room. I was like, oh, he ain't happy.
I wouldn't piss Sal off, man. He's a big guy.
He was a big fella. Me and him had a couple blows.
Like physicals?
Oh, yeah.
No.
No,
No.
you fought your dad?
We never like fist fought each other, but there was a lot of shoving, a lot of like tying up.
Well, I've gotten to Ralphie's face a few times.
He has big mitts too. He'd come at me.
Yeah, Sal's a big guy.
A lot
He
of
doesn't
back
look
of the
like
necks, a lot of chokes,
Yeah, he doesn't look like he fucks around.
a lot of fucking slamming of the head.
You could take him now, I think.
He's retired.
Yeah, but
He's an older man.
He'd hit you over the back with a chair. Thank God you got that hair to fucking cushion the blow.
Nah, he's docile these days.
I still think he'd fuck you up.
We still argue though. Last night when we were staying with them, me and him were kind of going at it.
Yeah,
I think
you
it's because
were.
we're the exact same person.
It's the exact reason why.
Yeah, we're the same person. Except for my dad's 100% uses his left brain, which is all logic. Every decision he makes, there's no emotion involved. It's just logic. And my mom's the other way. She's 100% right. Zero fucking logic in that woman's head. Pure emotion. She goes by her heart, and that's what makes her such a beautiful soul. But so together they make like a great team. But they also like it's completely differing opinions all the time. Well, it doesn't make sense. It's like, but I want to. Like that's like every argument. They just sit in their chair at home watching
Where's the
TV,
left-
bickering at each other.
What's the logic side?
Left brain is logic, right brain is emotion.
What are you?
I got a mix of the both.
Yeah.
I think logically, but I also wonder how do I think I can make them feel, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I got a good combo. Because my older sister's very logical, my younger sister's very emotional, and I'm the middle kid.
Can I guess which one's which?
Feel free.
It's the logical one of a house.
The logical one got an education and a career. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah. Well,
That's not to say that my mom has no logic or my dad has no emotion, but that's their decision-making process is based purely in those worlds. At least that's my theory on it. So my mom might jump into a fucking Shark Tank and be like, "The shark wants me. The shark, look at the shark. He looks sad. I'll make him feel better." My dad would be like, "You're crazy. Don't do that."
I would say I'm personally all logic.
Is that what you'd say?
I'd say that.
Why? Why are you all logic?
You know, I just always think things out. I never jump.
incorrectly?
I never jump.
Yeah, you never said you were right about it. You just think about it a lot.
I say no. I never show emotion. I never get angry. You know.
Oh,
I
we're
always think
riffing,
with
okay.
that. Yeah.
I think you're 100% emotion.
I'm 100% emotion. Yeah.
You go about you would go gut.
Yeah.
What's
Why
this
not?
guy doing? You guys just straight blowing over.
Raptor, man. The Raptor almost went off the road.
Dude, who's that? Who does that come from? Your mom or your dad?
Probably a mix. My dad does fly off the hinge at times. That's emotion, but he also is very logical. My mom's all emotion. She's all heart, kid.
I think it's all moms. I think moms are all logical, unless your mom was like an umpire for a living, or they're all emotional.
Yeah.
Are there any other weirdos, bud? Do we want to wrap up the weirdo?
I think that's a good weirdo for the week. You You know, a couple fucking guys one guy jumping into a tank. I'm getting car sick by fucking reading these things now.
Stop reading them. Eat some popcorn. My mom bought all these snacks for us, and
Well, I have to read the things, and it's hurting my fucking head.
Eat some popcorn.
that was a bit of a fuck you on accident. Eat some popcorn, you prick.
That was a classic Albanese. Food will take care of it.
Oh, you guys are gonna get hit, both of you.
The roads are bumpy. Yeah, have a bite.
I failed English. Have yourself a pizza. Calm down. Sit down. Eat some pasta. You know what I've been daydreaming about today?
Pasta?
Well, yeah.
Pies.
No, but pasta.
The
I've been
triple
watching a lot of
Bs.
those BuzzFeed Tasty videos, which is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, or the worst. But I was trying to think of what would kill on that. What would be a really good pasta to make that people would love? Because they do a lot of like, put this and this, and then roll it in flour and egg and breadcrumb and fry it. As they make a really good like fried dish. I'm gonna take rigatonis, cook them up, take a little ricotta cheese, a little mozzarella, a little parmesan, salt, pepper, maybe a little basil.
Don't tap me.
I'll smack you. You mix it up real good, and you put it in a piping bag, and then you fill a little rigatoni, filled like it's almost like a cannoli, or like a stuffed shell, but little rigatonis.
What segment's this? How to get man tits?
This is my new segment, Man Tits with Mike. That's actually not a bad segment. Maybe that'll be my segment instead. I can do this all day. All right, welcome to my new segment, Man Tits with Mike.
I have no idea what you were saying.
I don't care.
You were just so pumped.
I'm jacked.
You were all hard on that.
I'm all emotion when it comes to food.
Oh yeah.
No logic. Anyway, you take the in a piping bag the ricotta mix, fill it.
I think we're gonna run off the road.
But only because I saw a sign for Fazoli's. Unlimited breadsticks, couple fucking pounds of pasta into the head. I'm into it. I'll fuck.
No, this lane really
hold on, the lane
Mike.
does end. Whoops, that beeping is the car telling me I'm an idiot. That beep just went, rigatoni, fat ass, rigatoni, fat ass. Anyway, can I finish?
Yeah, sorry.
This is my recipe. Buddies, try this out there, because I'm going to try it too, and I'm gonna submit it to BuzzFeed. And you pipe it in to the rigatoni, this mix, so it's nice and full, like a little savory cannoli. Freeze it so it's nice and hard, so it stays together. A little flour, little egg, little breadcrumb, back in the egg, back in the breadcrumb, double up that crust. Don't you fucking roll your eyes back there.
I'm not rolling my eyes. I'm just
Deep fry it. Serve a little marinara. Deep fry it, a little marinara.
Everything's deep fried in the South.
The perfect
man.
little fried treat. I'm gonna
man.
try this as soon as I get back. I can't wait.
I have like heartburn all the time. Fucking everything's deep
I
fried.
feel myself getting fatter by every mile we get more into the south.
Yeah, it's too deep fried and greasy, and there's fucking pork and everything, dude. It's a mess. There's no greens.
The place the Laughing Skull's in, the Vortex.
That place is the worst.
Their place that is intentionally shitty. Like they redid their menu a couple years ago when I was still living there, and they took everything healthy off the menu, and the only things left, the couple salads they had left, it all comes with bacon and fucking pulled pork.
Why do they do that?
Because they don't give a fuck. Because it's a gimmick. They do the heart attack or the coronary bypass. It's like 12 burgers stuffed between 6 grilled cheeses. It's insanity. And you get these fat fucking idiots from the suburbs. They come in there like, I'm going to give it a shot.
So
And that
like,
moron Adam Richmond, who I'm a fan of, by the way. But that show really kind of fucked. All these restaurants started doing all these food challenges. Real disrespectful to food. And the people who are go hungry. Very
is that why
wasteful.
you left Atlanta? They changed the menu and you couldn't get a good salad?
Yeah,
so you had to pack your bags and head up north?
They wouldn't give me a salad. Then I said, hey, hold the bacon. They're like, we don't do that. I thought the guy can't just can't retract his arm when he's got his hand full of fucking pig fat.
And
No, it all comes with bacon.
And that's when you were like, I have to head to the northern states.
That's when I was
and
like,
get me some veggies.
No, I was like, perfect. And then I stuck around for another year, and I was like, oh boy, my tummy's getting hanging over my belt a little bit. I leaned over, I was like, why do I have a pocket? Look, I can store food there. Oh, from the inside? Great. Fucking idiot. Yeah, I'm gonna make those rigatonis.
I can't wait to try them.
Let me give you a little recap.
Oh, please.
Let me give you a little recap of my food week. I'm very excited about these things. And Mike's, what is it? Mike's Man Tits?
Yeah, Mikey Man Tits.
Mikey Man Tits?
Nah, how to get man tits with Mikey.
Man Tits with Mike.
And you said there was carrots and zucchini in those too, right?
In what?
I'm lying.
I was thinking. I was like, I haven't had a carrot or zucchini in weeks. You're a prick.
You licked your lips though. And you're like, in what?
I'm hungry. Buddy, give us in that popcorn. No, tonight in DC, I took a walk. Oh, I got the most embarrassing one of food moments in my life tonight. I went for a walk. I had to make a couple phone calls. I didn't want to sit around the venue that long before the show. I found a French bakery, and I walk in, and I was standing in the back, just staring at all the cookies and baked goods, because I hear this, like zoned out, like I do with you guys, just looking at cookies, and I just hear this. I just hear nothing, and then, sir, and I look up and go, yeah? She goes, you okay? I got asked if I was okay inside of a bakery. I must have been salivating with a boner.
I've seen you at the bakery in Astoria just stare at cakes, slices of cakes.
Oh, it's so much fun. I love a good bakery.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, speaking of bakeries, that kid from last night stunk.
What? What was last night?
When they told that
Oh, at the supermarket? Why do you...
big-eared free kid.
What? Speak
The kid
forward.
I'm getting cupcakes from my family last night because they let us sleep at the place.
Very nice.
So I'm like, let's get some food for them. The kids can't have peanut butter because they're weak. And
Hold on. This morning I made a peanut comment and you fucking almost threw a mug at my head.
what are you talking about?
I said, oh, there's I was getting coffee out of the cabinet, and I go, oh, there's peanuts in here. That's weird. I thought the kid was allergic to peanuts. And you're like, you fucking shitting on my family? Put that fucking shit down. You don't even deserve it. Get out of here.
Yeah, that was fun to do.
You legitimately snapped at me for saying peanuts, and now you're calling your own family weak?
They're weak. So, no, they can't have peanuts. So me and Pappy were going to get shit, and then the kid just comes up and goes, don't get cupcakes. Cupcakes are pee-pee. No one likes cupcakes. And I just turned to Pappy, I'm like, who the fuck is this kid? And then I go, who doesn't like cupcakes anymore? And he was a big-eared freak. And then we thought maybe he was like a little special ed, but then we know he wasn't special ed because he was like, oh, I'm just a kid.
Well, he said I'm just a kid because why? Because he comes up and goes, cupcakes are pee-pee, and then you go, who the fuck is this kid? Right to his face.
He was being a little prick.
He was being
Who,
a prick.
Scopo? You called a kid a big-eared freak to his face.
No,
I
he
didn't call him a
didn't call
big-eared
him
freak to his face. I said, who the fuck are you?
Well, I was in the ice cream aisle, coming back with a half gallon of
Shocker there.
of I would have got a whole gallon of chocolate chunk, and I hear Pavone just howling, laughing. I come back and I go, "What's the matter?" You go, "There's this big-eared freak over here talking to us."
I would have pie-faced him into pies. I hated that kid. He's a loser.
I look back.
No one likes pies anymore.
I will give the kid this. In the food world, which I am very much embedded into.
No.
Cupcakes are like 2 years ago. Cupcakes, nobody actually likes cupcakes.
You're siding with the
Everybody
kid.
likes cupcakes, Mike.
Nah.
Cupcakes aren't a fucking trend. They're not like fucking
They were a
Uggs.
trend. There was a
No.
million cupcake places that opened up and closed.
Okay, Mike, we'll dangle a cupcake in front of your face.
I won't eat it.
Yeah, really?
Not a store-made cupcake. Not a fan.
Yeah, okay.
Store-made icing.
Yeah, okay.
Let me tell you
Mike.
something.
Mike, I pull over to a fucking any Stop and Shop over here. I get a cupcake. You'll run to it.
How many cupcakes did I eat last night?
You had
How many
15, You had 15 fucking brownies.
I didn't have one brownie. Did not eat a single
You
brownie.
had a cookie.
Oh,
I had
sorry, you
one.
7 brownies this morning.
I had one. I didn't have a single brownie at all. I had one
Cookie.
mini cookie this morning.
Mini.
It was a mini cookie.
Yeah, but that was after 2 bagels.
I did it 2 bagels. You fucking asshole. And I did have a couple pumpkin spice coffees. Oh, I love a good pumpkin. Call me Becky, baby, because I'm a white chick, and I am not ashamed of it.
I love pumpkin too, though.
People who don't shit on pumpkin spice, it's such a stupid. There's so many other dumb shit white people do. Why pick the delicious thing?
I don't understand. I don't even know people who don't. I think I just like edit it out of my mind if you don't like pumpkin. I don't even know. Who doesn't like pumpkin?
I love making pumpkin pies.
I love pumpkin
pies
pie
this year.
is the best pie.
I'm making pies this year.
You're gonna make a pumpkin pie?
I've made pies every year except for last year. I didn't make pies. I didn't have time. I was busy. I had no pie time.
I've lived there 2 years. I haven't had one pie from you.
I made pumpkin pies, but I brought them to a party. I didn't actually have them on Halloween, but I made a pumpkin pie, and I made up my own pumpkin cream pie.
Oh, I think I might have had that one. The pumpkin cream pie.
Did you really?
I think so.
Yeah, I had a pumpkin cream thing that I made with I don't make my own shells. I should make my own shells.
Can you make a pumpkin pie?
I love a good pumpkin.
I
Yeah,
love
I can make pumpkin pie.
One time.
You know what? I'll make a pumpkin pie for my little pumpkin pie.
Thank you, buddy.
You're
I
cool.
had a pumpkin pie to myself when I was 10 and I puked everywhere.
You did a lot to yourself when you were a kid.
I ate no one to eat it with, buddy. You just gotta.
It is sad.
You don't have brothers and sisters to share it with, and you don't want to take a beating from your parents. You gotta eat the whole fucking pie.
What would your parents beat you for not eating a whole pie?
Because I ate the pie without, I ate the whole fucking pie. I was gonna eat half, and then I was like, "Fuck it, let's go for the whole thing."
I'll tell you this though, I look for the segment's called Mikey Man Tits or Man Tits with Mike. I love to eat, but it's something I do not eat unless I'm forced to eat it or unless I gotta be nice. I don't.
Everything.
I don't eat everything. Thank you. I'm skinny. No, I don't like store made. I don't like store, but like
grocery
store icing.
Yeah, it's sort of.
Grocery icing is filled with lard, and it's. I just don't like the taste. But also, it's the craziest thing. And if you don't believe me, we'll go buy a cupcake. I'll force it down. But the inside of my hand, the inside of my palm right here, as soon as I eat shitty icing, my palm twitches.
Yeah,
my
I can see
hand
that.
it goes crazy. Because my body and it's surprising it doesn't do with everything else I put in my body because I don't eat a lot of great stuff.
You're such a cupcake purist.
I'm an icing purist. I
that
can't
your body
eat canned icing
immediately
either.
rejects it.
It does. My body starts twitching. My sister too. Her hand will start her pinky will start twitching if she eats shit icing, store icing, whatever it is. Even canned icing in the can. There's so many people that eat it out of a can. It disgusts me.
So one Whole Foods fucking cupcake and you become Mikey Twitch Banez?
Mikey body strokes.
Oh, twitchy. That's fucking ridiculous.
It does go right to my tits.
But I do believe that you are a icing purist, and your body does reject that of the lard-based icing.
There's a long line of purists.
For Puritans, they called us. Puritans of icing. I wish I could, though.
You wish you could eat.
I wish I could eat store-bought icing because the cupcakes look like those cupcakes last night. You bought them. I knew I wasn't going to eat them. I didn't even crack the ice cream open. I almost had it for breakfast, but I already had 2 bagels. I couldn't scoop fucking Rocky Road, chocolate double chunk Rocky Road onto my second everything bagel.
A lot of food at that house.
Yeah,
It reminds me
the
of-
pasta was great.
It was my
good.
cousin Lisa, her mom, which is my aunt, she used to have food at the house, and my mom never had food. So when I used to go to my Aunt Judy's house, it was like a mini vacation because they always had food.
I loved going to my buddy. I had a buddy down the street when I was growing up. We never had soda in our house or like chips growing up, which is why I think that I really like chips and like shitty food.
You
Not healthy.
You rebelled.
Yeah, I think as an adult, like it was like fuck you, and that's why I like not like shitty like bad quality, but just like food that's bad for you. I love it. Chicken fingers.
Is that
ranch.
why after a bag of chips you put the bag over your head and
No,
sniff it
that's
in?
before the chips. Because I used to. I had to.
I was just kidding, but you
No,
outed
I
yourself.
actually do that.
I seen you do it.
I know. I open a bag of chips. Anytime I open a bag of any food, like a snack food, I immediately I open it right next to my schnoz, and I take a big whiff. I need all that air in me, and I think it's because when I was a kid, if we ever got chips, I had to, like it was a rare thing, and I wanted to savor it. I wanted to get every ounce and morsel of enjoyment out of the bag, so I'd even take in the chip air.
So what kind of food did you have at your house?
My mom used to cook a lot. She would cook meals, so we'd do pasta or chicken or whatever.
No snacks.
We never had many snacks. No, that's why I think I like
why
snacks.
you're Mikey Snacks.
I think that's why I'm Mikey Snacks, Mikey Apps. That's also why I like to eat out a lot. Is because I'm a man. No, because we never really ate out a lot as a family either. Like, we always had home-cooked meals, and we didn't have a ton of money growing up. So it was expensive to take a whole family out. So when we did go out, it was always about the value. We do a lot of Mexican restaurants where it was unlimited chips and salsa. Buddy, we would tear through, like, no fucking kidding, the 5 of us, 10 baskets of chips and salsa before the food came out.
Let me understand something. So when a woman has problems with her father and then dates older men, that's known as daddy issues.
Yeah.
You have that with chips.
What are those known as?
Snacks. Snack issues.
Snacky issues?
Fatty issues. Come on! I thought that you were going the whole time. You
No, I
fucking
didn't
idiot.
know that. I just like how you know, sort of like psychologically explained why
serious.
you like food.
I think so. I never thought about it until this very moment. But I think my fascination with food was because I would dream about, like, I would dream about food. Not that my mom was is a wonderful cook. She's fun. My dad's a great cook. He made us a big pasta. It was great.
It was great.
Isn't that great? Both of our families, when we stayed with them, we got big pasta meals. And the food was amazing. But we never just had shitty food. We never junk food. Never had sodas. I had a buddy down the street, and they had a fucking cabinet full of sodas. But they didn't call them sodas, they called them canned drinks.
Ew.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Who are these losers?
Well,
Canned drinks?
the dad was an actual genius. And
That
the
doesn't
kid
mean that he's not a
was
loser.
smart as fuck. He went to like some, big time Ivy League type of shit.
And you're still buddies with
So
him?
no, we stopped being friends in like 5th or 6th grade. Because him and my other friend, I had 2 friends in the neighborhood, and these 2 particular friends. I had other friends, but these 2, before anybody else in the neighborhood like that I knew, they accused me of. Because here's why, and you know what? They're probably right.
Mike, we know you ate their food.
No. Listen, because we didn't have snacks and shit in our house, I knew the one kid had soda, and the other kid, he had a cabinet full of chips. Nothing but junk food in the one kid's house, nothing but sodas in the others. So I had 2 friends that we go over, and the first thing I would do, I guess, would be like, let's look through the cabinet and get some snacks. They didn't give a fuck because they grew up that way. So they were like, I don't give a shit. And then they both accused me of, the only reason you're friends with us is because you like to eat our food and drink our sodas. They're like, you're crazy. And I'm walking home crying because they told me they don't want to be friends anyway. And I'm like, well, they're not wrong.
Yeah, they weren't wrong.
I love their snacks.
Caught on to me, goddamn.
Lot of little Debbies and chips.
What
a
are
lot of
little
Cheetos.
Debbies?
Little cakes. Little 2-packs, zebra cakes. You got your oatmeal cream pies. You got your ho-hos.
Oh, that you'll eat. But the
your-
cupcakes are a no-go.
No, it's just supermarket. It's specific to supermarket icing. I love a good zebra cake. Get that weird oily cream that sticks to the roof of your mouth after a baseball game. Get a supermarket brand soda and a zebra cake. It'll fuck you up.
This Mikey Man Tits segment's been 40 minutes of you
I can't.
salivating.
I'm so hungry. All right. Well, that's what I had to say for Mikey Man Tits. Oh, what a good time.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Hang on real quick.
That was more than a segment. That was a psychological
You
session.
can't break down someone's life.
You started a recipe, then you
Fuck.
you went
That's
into
what I
the
know.
history of why you enjoy chips, and you broke it down to that you didn't have any, and now you're chip crazed.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry
talked
for
about
trying to
lost
make it interesting.
friendships over snacks. That's a long Mikey Man Tits segment.
Hey, tune in next week. I'll have a new recipe and I'll have more emotional trauma. $900 million Mega Millions.
Yeah, my mom keeps telling
Are
me to
you
play it.
fucking kidding me?
And you'll also be losing 2 friends.
Fuck. I can't. I'll put the key on the on the front of the car. No note. I'll scratch into the front. Fuck you. Love Mike.
Well, if you win the Mega Millions?
900 million.
No, I
You know what
just meant at the end of the podcast.
You know, honestly, what I dream about, the first thing I think about when
I'd punch you in the face with $1 million.
the first thing,
I'd make a fist out of $1 million and crack you right in the
I don't think
nose.
you would.
Oh, I'd smoke you.
I don't think so.
You'd catch an uppercut.
You want to punch me that bad? Why'd you punch me for free?
You would so.
Oh, you think you
would
got-
so take a punch to the face for $1 million?
Yeah,
you wouldn't
you
even
ain't gonna-
bat an eyelash.
You ain't gonna smoke me.
Oh, you wouldn't bat an eyelash.
You think you have $1 million? You have $900 million. All of a sudden, you're fucking stronger than me, and you can
No,
beat,
I never
you
said
can
that.
beat
But
me up.
I'd put $100 million, put in a ball, put my fist in there, and say, hey, can I punch you with this? And then it's yours.
Yeah, I'd take $10 million, and then I would wrap a belt around your neck and steal the rest of your money.
No, it would already be in a Swiss bank account.
Oh yeah, that's something I'm confident
Except for the
in,
$4
that you have the
million.
capability of. You can't even keep a fucking TD fucking bank account. You're gonna figure out how to open up an offshore account.
Not only are you incorrect, I have 2 TD bank accounts.
you have no idea what the passwords are.
Buddy, I'll log in right now, and I'll show you that the $16 I have in both.
Oh, I think about a kitchen. The refrigerator I would have would be so great.
You would
Would you have a walk-in refrigerator?
Oh my god! Yeah, absolutely. It'd be a commercial refrigerator and a commercial freezer.
You were talking about how much you loved Scopo's cousin's fridge today.
Yeah, it was great. I was rubbing it like a titty. I was caressing it like it was a beautiful woman.
I actually, at one point, went to the bathroom, came back, and you started talking about the freezer when I got back. I left for a
I
couple.
heard you call it Becca.
Wow.
I left for about 4 minutes, and you were still talking about it.
I called it improv. Did you forget the games we play here? But that's what they call it a walk-in cooler in restaurants. They just call it the walk-in.
I've worked in a restaurant, so I know the fridge.
I was talking to the garbage man back there. Did you ever work in a restaurant, Scope?
Nah, I've worked in a restaurant.
I think it should be like the military. You have to join. Some countries make you join the Israel. You got to join the military at a certain age. I think in America, everyone should have to work at a restaurant.
Is that called conscription?
Are you trying to say prescription?
No. Isn't it mandatory army called conscription?
Oh, I don't know. I think everyone should have to work at a restaurant, though.
Like the people service, like necessarily just to deal with human beings and see if they suck.
Yeah.
I had to deal with that when like seating people, and they sucked half the time.
Yeah, I think there's something very specific about the working in a restaurant that
I think more
it
human
gives you a
interaction.
certain perspective on humanity that I think it'll make so many people less of an asshole if you've had to be on the other side of where people are their worst. It just gives you a different outlook, I think.
Yeah, people are annoying.
Yeah.
Salads? I hated making salads.
My sweet tea, it's not sweet enough. Man, we put a pound of sugar per gallon. Can you give me just like a couple packets of sugar? And then they proceed to put 6 packets of sugar in a single glass of already insanely sweet tea. People are filthy.
Can you not, can you take out my green peppers in the salad that's already mixed in there? Yeah, sure. Oh, you missed one. Well, take it out yourself. I gotta fucking go and take out your own green pepper for you.
I want the lasagna, but I don't want meat in it. Can they just not put meat in? Well, man, the lasagna's pre-made. It's made in like big batches. It's not fresh lasagna, ma'am. Do you understand what lasagna is? You think that you put an order in, they're gonna bring out raw pasta and layer lasagna for you, and then put it in the oven? It's gonna come out in 15 minutes. It's not gonna take 2 hours. You fucking moron.
You ever work a breakfast shift?
Oh yeah, I was a brunch chef for a little while.
The worst are the people that miss breakfast and then they just can't comprehend why.
At 1 o'clock in the afternoon when lunch is ending, why I can't get a eggs Benedict.
I'm only half hour late.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that you fucking missed.
I'm not gonna go back there and start peeling potatoes for you. I loved working brunch though. When I was brunch chef, it was the best. Me and my friend Nicole would run the kitchen. Get in at 5 a.m., start chopping potatoes, peeling onions, music playing. I miss that. I do. It was so. There's something so like.
What place did you work at?
It was a place called Bocce in Atlanta, and I was the GM of the restaurant. But they wanted to start doing brunch, but the chef was like, "Fuck you! I put in too many hours. I refuse to do brunch." And I was like, "I'll do it." And so I came up with a brunch menu, and I started doing brunch.
You were the GM?
Yeah, but I was also the brunch chef.
Giant man.
Can I tell you something? Not only is that funny, but I'm impressed that you know that the word giant starts with a G and not a J.
Well, sometimes I shock the world with my spelling.
Oh, I want to work a brunch shift again.
Peeling potatoes and listening to music.
Yeah, man, like prepping
5 a.m. too.
Prepping hash browns. Fucking cracking 1 million eggs to get omelets prepped. It was the best. Deep frying. because there's nobody there. There's a certain smell in a commercial kitchen, like in the morning, and it's I don't know, it's a scent memory, and I loved it. If you've ever worked in but you work in a restaurant, there's something about it.
Yeah,
I hate it. I don't want to ever do it again, but I miss it.
I hated going back to the freezer. I didn't like the fridge and like and getting like the onions and all that.
That's my favorite.
I didn't like it. You fucking go back there and you got like a mix of onions were very potent. That smell. They really came through more than any other thing you had to keep in the fridge.
I remember I was working at Moe's one time, and they asked me to do prep one morning, prep like all the ingredients, and I was making the guacamole to the recipe, and the recipe called for a cup of salt, and I go, there's no way that this little, like, it's not a big enough amount of salt, of avocados for a cup of salt. And they're like, yeah, follow the recipe, and I dumped a cup of salt, and then when the guy ate it, he goes, this is unedible, so salty. I go, you told me to put a cup in. He goes, it's not a cup, it's a quarter cup. And I go, look at the menu, the recipe. I go, it's a cup. I questioned you. You said you looked at me like I was a fucking asshole and said, he goes, read the recipe. Why do I gotta hold your hand? And I did it. And then I never did prep again.
And were you the GM at this time?
No, but the GM was just, I think we talked about this before. I caught the GM one morning smoking pot in the freezer, and I got away with murder after that.
You did.
I was just taking buckets of food home with me. It was the best.
I worked with a goddamn Greek family. A mom, a dad, and two brothers that hated each other. One brother was a prick. But they still owe me money. Sons of bitches.
Well, that's Mikey Man Tits. That's my new segment. It's going to be a lot of food talk, food culture, and these two idiots making fun of me.
And scams, I thought we...
Well, we thought about scams. I was going to talk about scams, my favorite scams that I've heard of this week.
Scammed out by
but
Mikey
I just
Man
scammed
Tits.
the two of you and started doing Mikey Man Tits.
Mm-hmm.
Man Tits with Mikey.
I can't wait for Mikey Man Tits.
It was a fun segment. I'm sorry for having an interesting topic to talk about.
Does Mikey Man Tits ever make anything healthy around the house?
I eat salads. A little chipotle mayo in it, but I eat salads.
Yeah.
I had a healthy dinner tonight.
What'd you have? A salad?
I had a salad.
Okay.
Went to a vegetarian restaurant, and I had a nice. What did I have? It has kale, carrots.
You made a little cameo in the
Corn.
bakery.
I didn't buy anything. I walked out of there. I was clenching my fist. I realized my fist was clenched so hard. I didn't know it was happening until I felt my nails digging into my skin.
Was it?
I was like, I gotta go. I can't. I'm physically harming
Did your
myself
hand
in a
walk
bakery.
from a frosting?
I might have. The thought of frosting got me all fucked up.
Hand
What's
turned
your
into a
new
claw.
segment there, silly?
It's called, This Day in History.
This day in history. I'm gonna have to come up with new drops to put in here.
Day in history.
Big day, October 18th.
October 18th, this podcast just came out. What's your
Well, I want to give a shout out to the greatest leader of all time, Pierre Trudeau. It was his birthday on October 18th, 1919. Pierre, we love and miss you.
Wait a minute, isn't Trudeau the name of the current?
Yeah, it's his dad.
What?
Yeah, his dad was
How
Prime
old is this
Minister.
Trudeau?
Fuck you, pal.
40.
Left lane, cruising at 30 miles an hour. Fucking asshole.
45, 46.
So Peter Trudeau was banging late in life to have this Trudeau.
Yeah, 1919. My grandfather was born
Pierre,
in 1913.
maybe he's older.
What?
Pierre or Justin?
You all right, Scott?
I'm saying that it's got to be, the guy's got to be, because 1919, that's almost 100 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
The
he
guy's
died
dead.
a while ago though.
Yeah, but he still means he had Justin when he was like
Like in his
55.
60s.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, wow.
When you lead a country, you probably get pussy thrown your way a lot.
I didn't know that was also happening in Canada.
Yeah.
Because in America, there's been a lot of families in the White House.
Well,
We didn't talk about the Spy Museum.
yeah, we fucking didn't do that.
We'll talk about it next week.
But I just want to give you guys a couple little things here, and then I'm gonna. British Broadcasting Company, that's the BBC, started today in 1922. American gangster Al Capone convicted of tax evasion in 1931. The first labor organization forms in North American colonies, and they are the Boston Shoemakers.
Buddy, you're going way fast.
Well, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, you're just going through a couple of
I'm
things,
just going
and then we're
through-
going to get to the main thing?
Mason-Dixon line, the boundary between Maryland and Pennsylvania, was agreed upon in 1767.
Wait a minute. The Mason-Dixon line is Maryland and Pennsylvania? So below Pennsylvania is considered the South?
That's what it says.
I thought the Mason-Dixon line was below Virginia. Maybe it was reestablished. 'Cause I thought Virginia and North Carolina
Maybe
was
at the time
Mason-Dixon.
Virginia wasn't a state.
That might have been. I don't know.
Maryland and
Wasn't
Pennsylvania.
it a colony? Virginia's one of the first states.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mason-Dixon line, the boundary between Maryland and Pennsylvania. agreed
That's a tough
upon.
line. Mason-Dixon. You don't fuck with people below the Mason-Dixon.
All right.
They don't eat vegetables.
This is what there was. There was the Battle of Charlestown too. That started on 1863. But I thought this was the most significant one. On October 18th, 1867, U.S. takes formal possession of Alaska from Russia.
Wait a minute. Today, the 18th?
October 18th,
What year?
1967.
Wow.
Or sorry,
This is a big
1860.
day.
1867.
This is a big day.
It's 151 years old.
As America.
As America. Since Alaska got its citizenship.
What do we buy it for?
And it was Russia they took it from.
From Russia. Bought it from Russia for $7.2 million.
Wow. What does that convert to in today's?
I don't know.
I think Russia got the better end of that deal.
No, I don't know.
You know, Scopo,
What
for
is it-
someone
what
who's
does it-
super America,
Can I say something though? What has Alaska done for the rest of the country?
Oil, and gold.
bald eagle, yeah, the natural resources alone, and
Yeah.
Alaska has enough oil reserves that if we shut off every purchase of oil and just used Alaska, it's something like 350 years worth of oil in Alaska.
Cruises.
I didn't know that.
Well, we know because you've been really down on America this lately, and I don't like it.
I'm not down in America. I'm down on the
Fuck
South.
Alaska, fuck the South.
South.
That's America.
North
you
and South.
take us
No,
or you
the
leave
South
us.
real
can
north.
Get the hell out of there. I'm not gonna lie.
But the South
wanna
thinks the
know-
same thing about you.
Good.
So
And
guys-
you know what? You know what's even going to make
Hawaii though, big fan of Hawaii.
you. Nah, you don't get Hawaii.
I like Hawaii.
You don't like Alaska? Hawaii's matched with that.
Nah, I'm with
But let me tell you, this will be fun for you. Everyone in the South thinks that you're a fucking Yankee. No one gives a fuck about a Met. You're all Yankees to the South. So sit on
That means I'm a team of winning. Okay,
sit on
good.
that one.
Well, yeah.
That's a big one.
7.2 million.
Alaska on October 18th was bought by America from Russia. That's a big. That's like that. I feel like that I should have known that.
It was either between that or Toronto versus
I know Pearl
Hamilton.
Harbor. I know I know all the big ones. Well, I feel like Alaska should. When was like the Louisiana Purchase? When was that? I have no
Louisiana
idea.
Purchase?
Why don't I know that?
That was in 1753.
What do you mean? Who'd you guys buy that from? France?
France.
They had Louisiana?
Yeah, that's why New Orleans and like Mobile, Alabama, they have like a very French, big French history.
I thought just French people went there.
No, it was owned by France.
Is that it's called?
It's a French territory.
It's called Louisiana because it's
I
shaped
think it
like
was
an L,
purchased
right?
for $3 million.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Check that. I think it was $3 million now.
3 mil?
Yeah.
So was that the big today in history? Was the Alaska?
That was it, man. I thought.
That's a big one.
I think Alaska or Al Capone's tax evasion.
This is the day he got convicted.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Well, he got convicted today, and then he should have gone to Alaska. Maybe that's where they could have sent him.
I want to
He
go to
went to San
Alaska.
Fran. He went to what's it called? What's that famous prison in San Fran?
Right,
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz, yeah.
Well, we should wrap by saying that if you have any, we're going to try to do these segments every week to talk about the weird shit. I'm on the fence. Maybe we'll do scams or food.
Why don't you do scams next week and see which one feels better?
All right. And then,
I think it's gonna be food.
well, obviously, food always feels better to me. I should do a.
Unless he makes enough money in a scam where he can buy more food.
That's a good
I think
point.
it's $15 million. With a purchase price of just $15 million, the U.S.
Louisiana
added
purchase?
some 13 states. I don't know. This is Louisiana. Now that seems high, doesn't it?
Not really. to buy a quarter of the country?
1803.
18.
United States purchased 828,000 square miles of land west of Mississippi River for $15 million. 4 cents an acre. That's what it says.
Wow. That's what Walt Disney did. He started buying a lot of.
Why would you guys just fight France for it? Why you guys
Because
have to
we
fight
gave
it?
France land after they helped us win the Revolutionary War.
Oh.
Where did we give them land?
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Oh.
That's.
So it was their land.
You gave them the land, and then you're like, we need to buy this back.
Yeah.
I mean, they made out $15 million in 1803.
They fucking scored.
It's like $1 trillion.
But it's like right in the middle of your fucking country. That'd be a hassle if you had to fucking drive through France every day to get to Mississippi or get somewhere else, get to Georgia.
That'd be brutal.
That wouldn't be good. But Alaska, at least it's up fucking top.
Do you think if Mississippi was still France, they'd still have the Confederate flag in their flag? I bet that would help that situation out. I can't believe that we found out today that Mississippi has the Confederate flag still in their flag.
Mississippi's got to go, man. No, what's even in that state?
You know, there's
What city?
Mississippi has Lafayette.
No, that's Louisiana.
That's Louisiana.
Biloxi?
What's in Biloxi, Mississippi? They got second-rate gambling.
What?
That's what Biloxi's in Mississippi. That's where you go to gamble.
Okay.
A lot of casinos.
There's the river. Mississippi River.
That's a big one. But the Mississippi River is just ends in Mississippi. That's why they call it the Mississippi River.
That's it?
Well, because that was the destination, everybody. When you're on that river, you're heading to Mississippi, so they call it the Mississippi River. I'm assuming.
Mississippi stinks, man. I've never even heard of
I've
anybody.
never been there, actually.
Mississippi's all right. U of M is a cool campus. Mississippi
Ole Miss?
State, yeah, Ole
Eli
Miss is
Manning
good.
played at Ole
Mississippi
Miss.
State, University of Mississippi, whichever one it is.
Isn't that Ole Miss?
I think it's Ole Miss.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's got to go, bro. No one.
Maybe in October 18th, 2050, we can sell Mississippi back to France and be like, you deal with it.
They won't take it.
Take this quagmire off our hands.
I think you gotta.
Put a couple croissants in there and fuck right off.
Yeah, you would have to pay France to take it from you, right?
The food's pretty good though.
What do they got in Mississippi?
Yeah, a lot of Cajun food, a lot of good Southern food, biscuits. The food's all right.
Who's from? There's Mississippi
Why
Burning.
can't I think of a fucking city in Mississippi? What's the main city?
Who's from Mississippi?
I don't know.
I know, like.
Wait, didn't Brett Favre go to Southern Mississippi State University or something like that? Or South Central? I know that's the Water Boy, but wasn't it like? Did he go to
South Central Louisiana University?
Yeah, something like that.
That was the Water Boy.
No, he went to
yeah.
somewhere in Mississippi. It was like
No.
Southern Mississippi. Southern
I
Miss.
think he went to Southern Mississippi.
Yeah.
Oh, Favre.
Favre.
Drafted it in the second round to who?
Green Bay.
Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta.
Then he went to Green Bay.
Yeah. Mississippi, man. Nobody's from Mississippi. I know Clinton's from Arkansas, right?
Little Rock. Let's hear he was governor. I don't know if that's exactly where he's from.
That's where he's from, not that.
He's from Arkansas. I don't know if it's actually Little Rock.
That's crazy. You guys had a president from Arkansas.
We've had most presidents have come from southern states. The majority of the United States presidents have come from the South.
Arkansas is a fucking weird one.
Virginia, Georgia,
Yeah, those are
Mississippi.
normal. Who's from
Arkansas.
Mississippi?
I think there's one or two.
Yeah, but that's when Mississippi was maybe something.
That's when it was French.
Was it French?
That's the other thing they don't talk about too, is that when all those early presidents are like heroes, they only had fucking 13 colonies to deal with. They didn't have a whole goddamn country like our presidents do today. They were dealing with a goddamn something you could drive in a day's time. How hard is that?
What, the first,
The first couple presidents, yeah, they were dealing with like 3
really,
states.
They didn't deal with that much.
Yeah, they were dealing with.
How about the guy who was president for like 7 days?
Who was that?
Some guy he just said 1841. I think he died of pneumonia. Remember he made the speech in the pouring rain,
And then he got pneumonia from his speech.
and then he died. Yeah.
Hysterical.
Who was the guy who died eating
Who's that?
milk and cherries?
That's a terrible combination. Choked on a pit,
No, I think it was the combo. That
on some
fucked him up.
cream.
Definitely was the combo.
That sounds like poison. But anyway, listen. If you send us if you find any weird stories or weird news that you want us to cover, we might do it. If you have any great food tips or good scams, we're gonna figure out that side. But either way, if you got a good scam that you love to do, or that you know of, you heard a great scam happening, tell me about it. And look up the history. It's gonna be every Thursday the day the podcast comes out. So if you see some weird stuff coming up, like next week, whatever that Thursday is, every Thursday, just pick up some Thursday history and let us know.
We got to recap also next week the Spy Museum.
Yeah, so look forward to that next week.
That was
Spy
fun,
Museum,
man.
American
Also,
History Museum.
October 18th, 1992, the first World Series ever won outside of American soil. Toronto Blue Jays beat the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, the Falcons weren't a team.
Atlanta Braves. That's one of the greatest teams in the history of the MLB. The Toronto Blue Jays, and we're coming. We're coming back. Anyways, what were you going to say?
What happened?
Was it about food?
What happened the year before that?
Muffins?
What happened the year before that?
Chocolate cake.
The Braves won the World Series?
Nah, Braves won 95.
95.
Yeah, Braves never won that year before.
I'm not even a Braves fan.
What does that mean?
That's why you got to say the Braves.
Because the Braves won in 1995.
You know I don't like
Came
the
back
Braves.
and crushed it. I don't give a fuck if you don't like the Braves.
That fucking
You think I care if I'm
racist
stepping on your...
Braves just fucking suck though. They're in the
think-
Mets division.
They do that
suck.
racist
I'm
shit.
sorry. Are you saying they
Grow
suck
up,
because
Atlanta.
they're
Yeah.
better than your team? Is that why you hate them?
Yeah.
Okay, well don't
Chip
say they
Jones
suck. Say you
sucks.
hate them.
You don't like them, so don't root for them.
I do like them.
No, you don't.
If I had to pick a fan, if I had to pick a team, I would pick the Braves or the Phillies.
It's the worst two places to pick from.
I'm sorry, a lot of championships under both of their belts.
Actually, not at all. Actually, you won one championship. You won 15 division titles, but you won one championship.
And what about the Phillies?
Phillies? I've won two.
Okay. And how many of the Mets won?
Two.
Okay. And when was the last time?
1986.
All right. So
what
you're
you
gonna
saying,
say?
though?
You're gonna say suck, or you're gonna say you don't like
You won
them?
67 in 2008.
Say
Big deal.
say you don't like them.
Big deal.
Saying you suck is factually inaccurate.
They do suck.
Okay. They suck because you don't like them.
They also suck.
All right. Email us at sweetbuddies@gmail.com to.
Also, rate, subscribe.
Send
Rate,
Mikey a recipe so he can cook it for the house.
You send me a good recipe. It's like legit. I'll make it, and I'll tape it, and we'll talk about it.
Email us. If you haven't emailed us in a while, email us again. Let's hear from you.
We want to hear from
people.
you.
We need this.
I'm gonna also be honest. I don't know how the last time I checked the email. There might be a ton of emails in there that I haven't seen. I'm just thinking. I don't know if I've checked the email account in a
A
while.
lot of action on the right side here, though.
Yeah.
That's
A lot of cops for one
4
car.
cops.
Also tonight, again, we're at the Funny Bone in Richmond, or at Funny Bone in Virginia Beach. Saturday, we're at the Comedy Club, Williamsburg Comedy Club in Williamsburg, Virginia. We're gonna go check out Colonial Williamsburg. We might do Fright Fest at Busch Gardens. Then Sunday, we're at Richmond at Castleberg?
Castleberg Brewery.
Castleberg Brewery. Next Thursday, a week from today, that's 25th, Helium, Philly. That's a big one. That's a huge A room that we are fortunate enough to be
They're
in.
all A rooms when we're in
That's
them.
true. So if you're any of my Philly people that listen, come out. We're going to be doing radio. I can't remember who it is, but it's going to be a fun time. We've got a lot of stuff. I'm definitely going to the
Wolfman Jack
casino
still on the
afterwards.
radio?
Yeah, he might be.
Is he?
No, he's been dead for 20 years.
Oh, okay.
And then we still got more tour stuff coming. Helium, Atlantic City Comedy Club, Fairfield Comedy Club, Philly Comedy Club, Helium in Philly. It's going to be a riot. So check it out, sweetbuddiespod.com. Email us at sweetbuddies@gmail. We are 8 minutes from the hotel. We fucking did it.
What time is it?
I'm jacked up.
12.
It's past midnight. All right, love you,
Here
buds.
comes that English broad.
This has been another episode of the Sweet Buddies podcast. Thank you for listening. Visit www.sweetbuddiespod.com for all show information, past episodes, tour dates, and more. Follow the show on Twitter at Sweet Buddies and your hosts at Big Man Mike, at Mr. Alex Pavone, and at Chris Scopo. Have yourself a sweet day.